get the joke. So... cruising with an 8-year-old. I gotta stop. Good morning, Wonder of the Seas Day 5. And we are in St. Maarten today. And I'm super excited because it's like my favorite island in the Caribbean. So just finished up the workout at the gym, feeling pretty good. Got up early today because we didn't stay up late last night because we had a really good dinner at Wonderland, and quite honestly, we were tired from that kayaking excursion all day and the heat and the sun. So we went to bed around 11-ish or so. I was up early, wanted to get to the gym before it got too crowded, and also be able to make it out for our excursion today because we have an early pier time at 9:15. So I'm headed to the Sweet Lounge right now. After a quick breakfast, we had to make sure that we have our donuts, powdered, vanilla cream, chocolate glazed. Which one's better? He's speechless. The one on his plate is the better one. Okay, so it must be the chocolate one. We're waiting for that one. We're gonna go back to the room. We're gonna get packed up, and we're gonna start heading down to the dock for our excursion time. Looking forward to our Jeep tour for the day in St. Maarten. Nice. So we are off, or I should say, we will try to be off the ship. So again, we're on deck 18, and the elevator saga continues because to get from 18 to 3, essentially, you can go down all the steps, right, dude?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of decks. So, of course, you want to take the elevator. You're carrying stuff, you're getting ready for a day off the ship, but there's a bit of a delay in getting these elevators. So, we'll wait.
A few moments later.
Elevator episode. We're on deck 15 right now. It can get crowded fast from these elevators.
1 eternity later.
We are finally on deck 3.
A few minutes later.
So we're on the pier waiting for our excursion. We've pretty much joined the group, got our tickets turned in. Looks like we've got about 3 or 4 minutes until like it's time for everybody to be at the excursion meetup area. So we'll get going soon. But I just wanted to make a note. We are, and a rare occurrence here, right now we are the only ship in port today, which I'm saying rare because typically you come to St. Maarten and you're one of like at least 3 or 4 ships on port. So we're starting out with a nice cool breezy day here on the pier. We got shade from our ship here on the pier, so we're not like hanging out baking in the sun. We got about 5 minutes or so until we get over the Jeeps, we're told. So a little bit about St. Maarten. It's owned by 2 countries. There's a French side and a Dutch side. St. Maarten a long time ago its industry was salt. So you see a lot of small ponds and little areas of water around the island that were used to cultivate the seawater for salt. Now its main industry is tourism. There's absolutely no shortage of excursions today, and you can see by the amount of people on the pier that everyone's just kind of hanging out waiting for it. So kind of leads to an interesting kind of trying to make some video content when you're dodging around people. I'm trying to stay as close to the yellow line as I can. You can't cross the yellow line or you get whistled at because it's unsafe, dangerous zone. So I'm trying to stay way over here, but inevitably, even if I'm this close to the yellow line, someone like walks right up to me and like kind of give them the look like, where do you want me to go? So if you remember a few years ago, there was a devastating hurricane that hit the Caribbean. One of the storms, there was actually 2 storms, kind of back to back. One of the storms was a direct hit for St. Maarten. It came on land with wind speeds topping 250 miles per hour in some areas. So St. Maarten was devastated by this. Basically like a tornado at sea, to put it in perspective for those of you that aren't familiar with hurricanes. And a lot of the island has come back, but there are still signs of areas that really just haven't recovered yet, even from that hurricane, almost 10 years at this point. And my wife and I, we were on the island the week before. As a matter of fact, just a few days before the hurricane hit. And, you know, you saw signs of panic in some people, not really knowing how bad it was going to be. It turned out a lot worse than people expected. And it really devastated the island for a number of years. So we're well past that, but still, like I said, still signs of things coming back even after all this. And of course, COVID didn't help out. So it's kind of like a double whammy for the island. You know, hurricane COVID, it relies on tourism. So, you know, when you come up ashore, try to remember that when you're walking around shopping. Short bus ride around town. So we're gonna pick up the Jeeps, and we're gonna get together right now and pair up or quad up and get our Jeeps. So after a quick waiver sign in, quick license check, C-Pass check, we're in the Jeep. There's 3 of us. Now, when you come on an excursion like this, they like to put 4 people in a car, whether it be a Jeep or whatever else that you're renting for the day, basically. So if you are a twosome, you'll most likely be paired up with another twosome. If you're a threesome, like we tend to be always, I don't know if we're gonna get a onesie or not, we'll see. But we might just be a threesome in this Jeep. Jeeps are basic rental Jeeps. We're a little old, but not bad. They're all automatic transmission, so there are no manual transmissions this time, although if you drive a manual transmission, they do have those as well. You could ask for them. I drive a manual. I'm going to stick with the automatic, make it easy today. There is a roof on this one. Be kind of nice if the roof and the doors were off, but I think it's the way you have to do things around here. So we're kind of sitting here a little warm right now until we get going, get the breeze going. Quick stop over at Maho Beach. We're going to stop over at and walk into Sunset Beach Bar. So those of you that might not know St. Martin but know of Airport Beach, or you've seen planes taking off and people getting hit with sand, or planes landing and they're really close to the beach, that's this area here. It's Maho Beach. It's on the tip of St. Martin. It's at the airport. As a matter of fact, there's a plane landing right now. Look at that. So there's Puddle Hopper. Those guys just go between the islands. Probably coming in from either St. Bart's, four-wheeler in the background there, from St. Bart's, or maybe even Saba. Those are the small planes that will take you to the smaller islands around St. Martin. So we're going to spend a few minutes here. I'm going to buy a hat because they have something known as the St. Martin Hat Project. There's a number of hats. They have St. Martin SXM logo on it, and they donate to plant trees. So when you buy a hat, they plant a tree, because a lot of trees were wiped out by the hurricane. So it's one of those ways to replenish the island. There's the airport, the runway. Now, we're not going to see this morning, but it's a spot that people will gather on the beach when you have some of the larger planes. The KLM, for example, Air France, United, they all fly in and out of St. Martin. So when you have one of those planes kind of getting ready to take off, they'll start at the end of the runway here. The runway is very short, and you can see there's a mountain range in the background. So they have to do a great deal of speed to get up in the air and then really bank up to get over the mountains. So they'll start at this end of the runway, they'll hit their engines hard, and then on the beach you'll see people really getting sandblasted. Some people get close to the fence. Probably not the best thing to do because you get a nice sandblast in the face, in your mouth, and your eyes. But people do it anyway just for the experience. It's also cool when they land because they do come in from that area, that vantage point there over the water, and they do get very, very close to the ground. I mean, so close that you feel like you can touch them. You can't. There's several feet in the air, you know, 30, 40 feet in the air, but that's pretty close for an airplane to be to the ground. So it does look like it's going to land on the beach right in front of you. So it's a cool spot to visit if you're in St. Martin. Sorry, I'm tripping over something here. It's a cool spot to visit if you're in St. Martin for the day. The beach is nice. There's vending. There's, of course, the Sunset Bar and Grill. So there's stuff here to eat and drink. Spend the time on the beach during a day. I wouldn't do it more than one day. You got to lose the experience after that. But it's basically like a must visit if you're here for St. Martin for the day, or if you're here for a longer period of time. So I checked out the store. I was looking for a St. Martin Cat Project hat, and they only had about 3, and they weren't really great. So maybe later on down in Philipsburg or somewhere else. If not, I'll order one when we get back home on the internet to go to a good cause. But that was a quick stop over at Maho Beach, and now we're headed off to the French side. Okay, so stop number 2. We're over at Orient Bay. We are at Bikini Beach. A little bar, a little restaurant. Nice view of Orient Bay. So we're free to walk around. We're gonna get some lunch, hang out for a little bit, feel the water, and get a little wet, and then head back in the Jeeps at about 1 o'clock or so. You're not gonna get wet.
I'm not wearing beach clothes.
Oh, okay.
So right now we're at stop 2 on our vacay. You can see that back there. This place is pretty nice. We're on the French side of St. Martin. We started on the Dutch. Now on the French side of St. Martin, which is pretty nice. Everything's mostly good around here.
Okay, but differences between the French side and the Dutch side. So, French side, lots more grass. So we got about an hour or so, a little more than an hour to stop here, have some lunch, get chairs if we want, hang out in the water. There's water sports here, parasailing, wave runners, all sorts. Just kind of hang out in the waves. French side is beautiful. It does have more of the sea grass and seaweed, especially during this time of season. It's a seasonal thing, so sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. The sand is very fine on this side too, so there is a difference between the sand on the French side and the Dutch side. It's subtle. Maybe you'll know the difference. But it's a nice place. It's always a little wavy and rough on this side compared to the Dutch side. So for example, in Philipsburg, you'll notice that the beach, very smooth, little to no waves at all. Whereas on the French side, because it's more exposed to the ocean currents, there's more waves, more breeze. That's why you have more parasailing and activities like this on this side of the island over here. Either way, I mean, you pick what side you want to go on. French, Dutch, whatever. Do a tour like this, you can do both. So it's entirely up to you. All right, so we're sitting down having a drink or two at the Bikini Beach Bar. We're gonna grab some lunch. What can I say about it? So far the tour has been great. It's been not off-road. You're in the Jeeps, you're going through Philipsburg, you're going through Simpson Bay, you go by Maho Beach, we saw that at the airport. And then we were over in the French side, we went through Marigot, come to Orient Bay. So it's a really good sightseeing tour if you want to see a lot of St. Martin, and as well have a beach break. Quick stop over in Maho Beach, a little longer stop for lunch over in the French side here at Orient Bay. All right, so we got a big decision here. Are we a French cider or a Dutch cider?
What are you?
I'm a Dutch cider. I tend to stay on the Dutch side more frequently than the French side, only because it's closer. When you disembark the ship for the day, the Dutch side's right there, the French side's a drive or a bus ride. It takes a little longer to get over here, so it shortens your day. Dutch side, for me, in my opinion, everything I need is right there. How about yourself? So he's a French cider. So you notice some of the differences also in the French side, just in general. It's a little more expensive. The food's of different caliber, I'd say, in that over on this side, you have a lot of young French chefs in training that come over to open up restaurants. So you can find a lot of that type of cuisine. Also, the local Creole is probably some of the best in the Caribbean. So if you're into that type of spicy type of dishes, this is the place to be on the French side of St. Martin to find that. Again, prices will be a little higher on the French side than the Dutch side. You can use dollars, you can use euros on this side as well. So your currency is accepted here, although most people these days pay with card anyway, or use Apple Pay and things of that nature. So you'll be able to electronically pay as well when you get yourself around. So it's entirely up to you and what you prefer. Tons of options in St. Martin. All right, so we're pulling out of Orient Bay. We're headed back over to Philipsburg and take a leisurely ride in the Jeeps across St. Martin. I was saying our lunch was nice. It was a fish sandwich, it was a burger, it was conch. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't conch. It was cod fritters. Cod fritters. It was shrimp. It was calamari. It was good, fresh calamari, not the frozen type you get in some restaurants. So a really good lunch, all for less than 100 euros. So again, always a little more expensive on the French side, but considering we got that and 2 drinks, not a bad deal. All right, so we're driving out of Orient Bay. It's a little bit of a bumpy road here. It's probably the only off-roading we'll do all day. It's not really off-roading, it's just a rough road to get out of the area. At the end of this road, on the beach side, is the old Orient Beach Resort. Now, I said old because it's coming back. They're rebuilding it, but it was destroyed during the hurricane. It is the clothing optional resort, which many people know about for St. Martin. They think, well, the French side, everybody's naked over there, you know, it's clothing optional. Yeah, but it's the resort over there. It's what, you know, people may have gone to in the past. It's still there. You still have a clothing optional resort. It's family friendly. You don't have to go there if you don't want to. You can if you want to, if that's something you want to explore and try out, but it's there. It's coming back, they're rebuilding it. You'll notice it in a different stage of construction if you visit that site, but it's down this long, bumpy road that we're currently traversing. Give you a little shot of what I'm seeing right now. And we're going super slow, by the way. We're only going about 5 miles per hour. All right, there's a much better view of the salt pond out there. You can even see some of the salt residue, the salt white on the edge of the pond there. And that's where they would harvest salt and send that out for export. And that ended hundreds of years ago or so. I mean, it's been a long time since any salt was exported from St. Maarten. But that used to be the industry. Back at the port, made it back from the Jeep tour today, and just a quick review to sum it all up. If you're a family, awesome. If you haven't seen St. Maarten and want to explore the island, this tour is for you. If you like just to drive around and see stuff, tour is for you too. Good beach breaks, good sightseeing, family friendly, informative. I think it hits on all notes if that's what you're looking for. If you want something else like a longer beach day, if you want to do shopping, don't really have available time for that, so keep that in mind if you do want to do this tour. But if those are things you want to hit on in terms of sightseeing and going around, this one's for you. All right, no stop in St. Maarten is complete without stopping and getting some guava berry samples. We're not stopping at the Guava Berry Emporium downtown in Philipsburg. We're stopping at the Annex on the pier or near the pier area in the port spot. But still, get a little drink. If you haven't tried a guava berry smoothie, guava berry frozen drink before, or just a guava berry cocktail, you're gonna wanna sample that. It's one of those fruits that's, one of those berries that's a natural berry in St. Maarten. So yeah, guava berries are natural. I don't know why I can't talk on this thing today. I think the sun fried my brain today. So yeah, guava berries are unique to St. Maarten. They grow in the middle of the island. If you want to know more about guava berries, Google it. You don't need some redheaded Irish guy from New Jersey telling you about what they are. But it's something you want to try if you come to the island, because it's one of those things that is St. Maarten and is, you know, also kind of delicious at the same time. Head back to the ship, get cleaned up, get showered off, get changed, and then we're going to do tonight's dinner at Hooked. So looking forward to some lobster, some seafood. Lobster. So it is a Caribbean themed night tonight. Got a nice linen outfit on for a Caribbean night. Pretty much all I got right now, except for some golf shirts. Let's just quickly talk about elevators at 5 p.m. on a port day. So all aboard is in a half an hour, 5:30. So we've got a number of people coming aboard right now. You also have a number of people going to dinner as well as roaming around just doing stuff. So elevators are at premium space right now. This is a good suggestion. If you can walk down a few flights of stairs, do so, especially at premium time. If you can walk up a few flights of decks of stairs, even better at premium time, because elevators will be crowded and, you know, they will be slow as well. They'll take a long time to get there. So especially if you're on a high deck going to a low deck or a low deck going to a high deck, you're going to be waiting a long time unless you walk those stairs.
Wow. Today was a big day. I got one of, what's it called again? I got everything we could ever want in St. Maarten. Bye.
All right, so day 5, we're in a very loud Hooked, but we're looking forward to not having my head going sideways the whole time. We have ordered a filet mignon and a lobster tail. I ordered the captain's platter, which is basically the lobster tail, some shrimp, and a choice of fish. I chose the cod. And little man is looking forward to his lobster tail. So, how many are you gonna eat? He says 5.
Got the fish. Can I have another one?
You want an oyster for real?
Little man had his lobster tail, he had his steak, he enjoyed Hooked tonight, had a great dessert. And then we came to Adventure Ocean to drop him off for, you know, his evening activity with his friends. And we noticed that they're full. So that's an odd experience for us. We've never actually had a full Adventure Ocean. Now I'll say that on this particular cruise, the age group he's in is 6 to 12, which is a pretty large age range there. We're not used to having 6 to 12. Usually it's every 3 or 4 years or so. So that was our first concern a few days ago. We really didn't think anything of it, but tonight we're seeing that they are full for that age range. So we'll keep checking in with Adventure Ocean to see if they open up. But if not, we'll just take a walk on the ship. We'll find some activities that we can do, maybe karaoke, maybe watch something, or something in one of the venues, but we'll keep ourselves entertained. All right, day 5 closeout, bud. What do you think?
Good.
So what do you think? Day 5, St. Maarten?
Vlog 1, take 2, done.